All right, everybody. This morning we went into the swamps down here, and I live in Taylor County, Florida. It's the northwest region. I hunt a lot down here in the Spring Creek management area. Uh, like going in some of these swamps, and the main thing we'll get in a lot of these swamps is wood ducks, and that is my favorite one. But every now and then, some of these hooded mergansers come in. This morning I got 3 of them. I thought they were 3 Drake wood ducks, but I still would have shot them either way. I don't discriminate. But anyway, I'm just going over a little bit. I know a lot of people just don't like these mergansers. They have the worst reputation out of any duck as far as taste. But I really honestly think that a lot of people just brush them off and don't even try it. The main way everybody eats duck is wrapping it in bacon and throwing it on the grill, and that is good. I do that. I do that plenty. And there's prepping to it though. With any duck, but it'll make even these mergansers taste better if you put it in a little Ziploc baggie and soak it in some buttermilk. Anywhere from a few hours all the way up to 24 hours. Honestly, the longer the better if you got a bird like one of these mergansers. And the only reason they have a little bit gamier of a taste is because they, especially out on the Gulf, they'll feed a lot more on little small fish and stuff like that instead of algae and duckweed and greenery. So a lot of people tend to just brush them off just knowing that and don't even give them a chance. But I'm not going to waste them. I'm still going to, I think they're pretty good when you cook them right. You, like I said, soak them in some buttermilk, and you'll see that it'll pull all like kind of greenish and yellowish colors out of the meat. And when you're prepping it like what I'm doing now, you don't have to with every bird, but if you got a bird that you want to get some of the gamey flavor out of, let's see if you can see this. Any of that fat stuff like that right there, trim that off. That holds a lot of that gamey flavor in a duck. And I try and save as much meat as I can, but in order to get the fat off, if you gotta trim just a little bit of that meat, it's okay. I guess if you get better at it, you can get it without cutting meat, and the sharper your knife, of course, the easier it is. I like to rinse all that blood out of there, get any of the blood out. I save the rib meat for my dogs and my cats, wherever my cat is. I got a duck-eating cat that's usually right here, but I think he's being spoiled inside the house with his mama right now. And the most common way is breasting these ducks, so I'm sure most everybody knows how to do that. But with a wood duck, I do really like to pluck the whole bird out like a little miniature chicken. It'll cut the head, the feet, the tail, cut off pretty much the whole butt area, and once you pluck the whole bird, you'll see a bunch of these little stringy hairs that's still sticking up. And I'm sure everybody has their own way of doing it, but my favorite way is to take just a little small Dollar General bolt torch, just a little small torch, probably costs $6 at Walmart or Dollar General, and I turn it on low, and you got to hold it away from the meat. I lightly will scorch all of the meat until you see the hairs that'll curl up black right there. And then after you see the hairs that burn and curl up black, you just take like your hand or a rag and go through just like burnt hair on your arm. You can wipe it off, and once it's curled up like that, it'll just ball up and fall off. But I will say, one thing I learned after doing that a couple of times, when it comes to getting the little hairs off and torching them, it is easiest if the duck is dry. You don't want to wash the duck off before you torch all of the little hairs. It will make it a lot harder. If the skin on that duck is dry then when you go through and lightly torch it, it'll make it easy just to rub the duck down, and all of the hairs will just curl up and fall off. All right, now we got us a bag full of breast, and what I'm going to do with these, with breast, I cook them a couple different ways. I might cook them on cast iron with some butter and garlic, but I do like poppers too. But my favorite popper is I'm going to take jalapenos and cut them in half. I'm going to fill them with cream cheese, and I'm going to take these breasts and cut them into strips, just little small strips of steak. And I'm going to put probably about 2 or 3 strips in each jalapeno half, and then maybe sprinkle a little bit of cheddar cheese on top of it, and then wrap it in bacon, toothpick through it, and then bam, there you go. And with any duck, I'm sure a lot of people out there already know, but I know there's some that don't. The longer you cook that duck meat, the gamier it's going to taste. If you just take one of these breasts out, for example, and get cast iron skillet with some butter and garlic and get it up, about like you would if you was just going to sear a steak. Sear it on both sides, medium rare. When you cut that open, you want to see a little bit of bloody juice on the inside like you would a medium rare steak. And as long as you cook a duck breast like that, I don't care if it's a merganser, mallard, wood duck, redhead, buffalo head, whatever you got, it's going to taste good. And I mean, like I said, there is ducks like these mergansers that might have just a little bit stronger of a taste, but on the ones like that, or any of them, just a couple little things that I've told you. Use buttermilk, let it sit for about 24 hours. You can use, soak it in Dale's. A lot of people soak it in like soy sauce or something. I don't, because I don't really like the meat to be real salty tasting. I got a buddy who will put it in a Ziploc bag and toss the breast around in sweet and sour sauce, and then put it straight from the bag onto the grill, and that's really good. But anyway, that's what I got for this morning. 3 hoods. We'll end up having their breast tonight with probably some leftover smoked pig. We smoked last night. I have another video going over cleaning the pig and prepping it and getting it ready for the smoker, and then putting it on the smoker. And I'll have a lot more videos of cleaning your game and prepping it and cooking. That's the main thing that'll be on this channel. I will, however, have videos of some hunting, mostly duck hunting, not so much deer hunting, maybe some hog hunting. And I do a lot of deer hunting, but I don't typically carry a camera out with me when I'm trying to stalk a deer. But follow my channel for more wild game recipes and just different tips on how to cook wild game. There's just a lot of it around here. A lot of people right here in this area of Florida live off the land. There's just unlimited supply of food out there. And then there'll be a lot of fishing on here too. We live just a couple miles from the Gulf out here in the flats, and we do a lot of trout fishing and red fishing. But yeah, just follow my channel and stay tuned for more videos. God bless.